Robert Wynne was travelling. His pregnant second wife was watching and waiting for his safe return in the tower. As she was descending the tight, winding stairs, carrying her young son, she slipped and fell. The servants called their doctor, but an inexperienced young doctor had come rather than her regular physician. The young doctor, confronted with a pregnant woman going into labour and a badly injured child, felt he was overwhelmed and tried to leave. But the servants locked him in the room. When Wynne arrived home, he hurried to the room, only to find his wife, son, and premature baby all dead. The doctor was nowhere to be found. There was no windows to escape from. But the doctor was never seen again. There is a local legend that he either committed suicide or crawled up the chimney and got stuck and died. Strange sounds and senses are experienced in the lantern room and tower, and as suggested is haunted, but uncertain whether it is Wynne filled with grief for his family, his wife for the loss of her children, or the young doctor suffering his guilt. So we're at our first location. This is the Plas Mawr. Right, this is a really old building in Wales. We are going to take you around, show you the different rooms, and eventually end up in the lantern room where the legend originates from. In the south wing was the hall and the buttery, with the red and white chambers above them. Probably when Plas Mawr was first built, and certainly by 1665, the hall would have been used to meet ordinary visitors and for servants' meals, rather than forming the main room of the house. The wooden benches and table on display are original to the property. The restored kitchen is equipped with a battery D cuisine, with a combination of original and replica equipment. With the traditional food of the time, the huge open fireplace has spits for carving meats and a cauldron hanging above it. On the left hand side, a small bread oven, bellows of utensils which are hanging from the walls. There is a big wooden working table with a bread cage hanging from the ceiling. Walls are lined with wooden storage cupboards, and the straw on the ground was scattered to keep the place tidy from any spillages that may happen in the preparation of the food. The pantry was placed in the centre of the building. This was used for storage of dry goods, and there are two huge storage chests. Rabbits, hares, pheasants, and a deer hang from the ceiling. Some food preparation took place in here, and there is a work table, wooden chopping board on legs, and a large wooden dish for bread making. In the north wing there is the brew house. There is a big open fire, and on the right corner, placed in the wall, is a large copper tank used for brewing and providing hot water. Under the window there is a large table, and on that table there are tools used for brewing. The upper courtyard was key to the way the main house functioned. It linked almost all of the ground floor rooms in the house, as well as providing access to the cellars, and gave an impressive view of the turret tower.
这是地产线。
This is the servants' room. It has creaking floorboards, and in the corner there is a brass bed near the door. With a stone hot water bottle and chamber pot. There is a small fireplace with a copper kettle hanging above the fire, and a cast iron cooking pot on a trivet. There are wooden storage chests, as well as a basket of washing on the floor. In the centre of the room there is a table, with a typical meal of mussels and 2 different types of bread. Under the window there is a small table with a sewing box. In the attic there are huge wooden beams held together with wooden pegs. Dividing walls were wattle and dub. Wattle and dub is a material consisting of wet soil, clay, sand, animal dung and straw. The view from the window in the attic is amazing, with such a beautiful view of Conwy Castle. This is Robert Wynne's bedroom. Not only was he warmed by the heat from the fire below, on the right there is a small room with a toilet, with its original wooden seat. The room is left unfinished to show off the decorative plasterwork. The private bedrooms for the family and guests were each equipped with a fireplace, an important status symbol in this period. This is Dorothy Wynn's room. This is a much more comfortable room with decorative plasterwork on the walls and ceiling. In the corner we see an elegant, formal Elizabethan dress, which was a sign of wealth in this period. A large fireplace and rush matting on the floor. The room was used for sleeping, informal entertaining, and also for meals. It is dominated by a large 4-poster bed with highly carved newel posts and drapes. Considering this is an old building, I mean, look at all the detail in the walls, the ceiling, even the bed. I mean, so there's so much time on the beauty of the place compared to what we do now. I mean, it's amazing, really. The Great Chamber is where the family ate, and principal guests were entertained. It is a large and light room with big windows. Round the base of the walls is panelling and original wooden bench seats. Above is a woven fabric. The plaster walls above have painted figures of carotids. The long table is laid with pewterware, ready for a meal. The fireplace is painted to represent marble. Over the mantel has the Tudor rose, and a reed fire screen protects the face of sitters from the heat of the fire. The ceiling has painted Tudor roses, heraldic devices, and what looks like small red strawberries. So this is the final room in Plas Mawr. Right, this is the tower.